I want to point out, Stephanie doesn't work for the ministry. She's actually a member. So she's given firsthand testimony and experience to what her experience has been. So tell us a little bit about that so far. How has your experience been? Have you needed to use the program? Have you been a recipient of some of that sharing?
Sure, absolutely. Yes, actually, 2 years ago, July 4th, my teenage son, got into a horrible bike accident. And that morning, he was airlifted to Children's Hospital in Atlanta. And, from there, we were quite uncertain of what was going to happen. Miraculously, he lived through the wreck. He was in the trauma unit. He did have a brain injury. He also had a broken collarbone and some nerve damage in his back and leg. So from there, we were just, day one, Samaritan Ministries called us. We submitted the need. They called us. They were working with us while we were in the hospital. What was really cool is they called and just immediately started praying for us. They prayed for our family. They prayed for my son. And it was just, that experience you would not get anywhere else with a traditional health insurance. But from there, we spent about a week in the trauma unit, and then he was able to come home and start outpatient therapy. And through the next 8 weeks of therapy, Samaritans was right there beside us. We were receiving funds to help cover some of these costs. Most importantly, they were reaching out to these companies and helping negotiate the prices for us. So when we would get the bill for the airlift of the helicopter, they would help us. They would call and negotiate and try to get that discounted for us. The hospital, the therapy, all the different specialists that we had to see in those coming 8 weeks. So the process was quite phenomenal. I was more than impressed with how they handled things. And after a few months of receiving the bills and getting our needs in, 100% of all of our bills were covered. It was quite a miracle what happened, not just with the healing and the praying for my son, but to bear that burden of almost $70,000 worth of health care expenses.